Hey guys, we're just down here at Princess Pier in Port Melbourne, a stone throw away from my clinic in Albert Park, and with the whole rage of the no breakfast life, intermittent fasting and fasting becoming all the rage these days, no doubt you've heard some myths and misconceptions around this idea, and here today I'm going to bust a few of those myths. Myth number one, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Ever since Dr. John Harvey Kellogg's gave us the idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day as a way to sell more of his breakfast cereal, we have been marketed the idea. The problem is breakfast cereal companies have a vested interest, and that comes down to their bottom line and investors. So of course they're going to sell the idea to sell more breakfast cereal. They're a business, I don't begrudge them for it, but it has very little to do with your health, and so this idea needs to die because there's no science to back it up. It comes from a guy who started a breakfast cereal company trying to sell you more breakfast cereal. Number two, eating breakfast kickstarts your metabolism. Number one fear I get from anyone looking at starting the no breakfast life, absolutely false. Your metabolism is made up of so many different aspects: your height, your age, your gender, how active you are through the day. It has nothing to do with the amount of meals that you have through the day. It all comes down to how many calories you consume in that day. Another big one comes around the fear that skipping breakfast will put your body into starvation mode. Let's talk a little bit about what starvation actually is. When your body has been completely depleted of all of its fat and glycogen stores, which even in the most lean athletic person on the planet happens around about 3 to 4 weeks, going a few extra hours with no food is not going to put your body into starvation mode. It is far from it. Myth number four, skipping breakfast will make your body store more body fat. Let's look at this in a more common sense kind of way. I'm a massive fan of the show Survivor. I must have seen every single episode. And when you get to the end of the season, every single one of the contestants have plummeted body weight. And if we get a little bit dark on the situation, prisoners of war go years with no food or very little food, and they're skeletons of themselves. So going a few extra hours with no food is not going to put your body into a place where it's just going to store all of your food that you have after it as fat. Myth number five. People who are dead against the idea of skipping breakfast and fasting will always say, sure, you skip breakfast, but all you're going to do is just binge and overeat at the end of the day. They've done studies on this. People who have breakfast have normally around 400 to 600 calories. So when people then skip breakfast and then they studied how many calories they then had later in the day, they certainly did eat more at the two different meals that they were having in lunch and dinner, but it never made up for the fact of how many calories people who eat breakfast had consumed in the morning. This fear of skipping breakfast and the idea that you're going to just overeat at your other meals is completely unfounded and has been researched and has been shown that it's just not the case. So there you have it. There's 5 of the most common myths and misconceptions. I hope this video has cleared up any fears that you may have had and that you can get started on your very own no breakfast life today.